Well, hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Women of Color in Business podcast. I am your host, Lynette Cottrell, and here we're all about empowering Black women to build sustainable businesses, embrace radical self-love, and release money trauma. So let's jump right into another great episode. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Women of Color in Business podcast, where we are all about empowering Black women entrepreneurs to build sustainable businesses and leave a great legacy. Today, we have joining us again another beautiful Black woman who's brilliant, and she's going to introduce herself and her business.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to spending this time with you. I am Dana L. Cox. I am the founder and CEO of Fix Coaching and Consulting. I am, and also the creator of the Position to Paid framework. So I'm looking forward to spending this afternoon with you and getting into how we can build some sustainable businesses in the Black community.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. Love that. So, Dana, tell us a little bit about your journey to entrepreneurship. Like, what was your career before, and what sparked that passion for you to start your own business?
Oh Lord. Oh, so I am, I was a corporate girly for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
3+ decades. I'll just put it like that.
Got you.
I spent a little time paying my dues in the corporate space, but
Yes.
Fortune 100 company. I grew my career from executive assistant to global executive.
Oh,
Um, you know,
wow.
it was a journey. It was
Yes.
definitely a journey. I would say my entrepreneurial aspect of my journey was really born out of my very own breaking point, but really now I look at it as more of a breakthrough,
Uh-huh.
if you will. Um,
Yes.
I I led a team, like I led a large team, about 155 people across 13 countries.
Uh-huh.
And in a short period of my time, I had about $850 billion of global impact, not too for a
Oh,
day at the office.
yes. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby for a day at the office. But last year, I was laid off last year, actually almost about a year exactly.
Okay.
And that as part of like some restructuring and things that happen. It happens to the best of us, right?
Yes. Yes.
But that moment forced me to really confront a truth, right? And that was, something I had been avoiding. While I had an impressive track record, if I'm honest, I was probably on the verge of burnout again for
Mm.
the second time.
Mm.
The second time in my life, right? So,
Yes.
you just sometimes you just start burning the candle at both ends and sometimes in the middle. And I think for me, burnout looked a lot different this time because my kids are all adults. They're outside of the house, and things of that nature. So, on the verge of that, I gave myself permission to, do something that was a little unusual.
Uh-huh.
Rested.
Uh-huh.
I rested for two
Yeah.
whole months. I rested.
Wow.
And it was fantastic. I was like, oh, I might have been burnt out. I might have been burnt out
Yeah.
again. So now, I took that 2 month time to rest, to travel, to spend some time with family and really kind of get clear on really what I wanted to do next. If I wanted to
Mm.
go back into the corporate space or if I wanted to try something else. And, I had spent a long time helping someone else build their legacy. And
Yes.
but you know what? At this point in life, I'm going to bet on me and give myself
Mm.
an opportunity to bet on me. And so now I get to coach high achieving individuals and organizations, even to get positioned, to get promoted, to get paid in many different ways, whether it's career advancement or through ownership. And but we like to do that without sacrificing our health, our
Ah.
sanity, or our
Yeah.
joy.
Okay. Come on. Come on. You're speaking my language now.
All right, all
Dana.
right. Yes. So that's kind of
Wonderful.
been my journey. And so
Okay.
now, I got into this and really started laying the foundation for my business. And that started that work in September. And
Okay.
throughout that journey, I got to work with some amazing individuals while I also built courses, wrote a book.
Right.
So I did a lot of things from September to December, uh,
Right.
really laying a foundation for the business. But what I really realized was it's a lot of work.
Okay. Yes.
Like I
Yes.
don't know about anybody else, but this is a lot of work
Yes.
to
Yes.
build a business.
It
And I
is.
think the traditional way of building a business is everybody thinks that you have to start it from scratch. I'm gonna tell you, in January, I was sitting in a conference and one of the presenters started talking about business acquisition. Do you tell me? Let me tell you, my ears perked up because
Uh-huh.
had never heard of, I've been involved in mergers and acquisitions in the corporate space,
Uh-huh.
never thought about it in the small business space. So
Mm.
this individual is on stage talking about business acquisitions, had been doing it for over 25 years, and my ears perked up. So I'm a student, okay. So when the hair on the back of my neck stand up, that means I need to dig into something. And so I
Yeah.
got a chance to dig into it a little bit more, went to a 2 day training, and I was sold out from that point forward. I
Ah.
was like, first of all, I've been doing it all wrong. I
Mhm.
left a corporate job, got into entrepreneurship, and had 6 roles. I was the CEO, the tech support, the administrative assistant. I was all of the things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm like, that's not, I'm not built for all that.
Okay.
I'm not built for all that.
Okay.
There's working in your business, there's working on your business, working above
Yes.
business. I'm definitely a work above the business type of girl.
Okay.
Okay, that I like time freedom, financial freedom, and I just want to be able to build a life and have the time and the financial freedom to be able to do that and move the way I would like to move. I
Yeah.
don't want to be, I don't want to be trading time for money. Not
Gotcha.
anymore, right? So it's
Right.
working smarter, not harder. And so
Right.
I was able to do my first acquisition in 8 weeks with
Okay.
I went into it with a few other people, and I did it in 8 weeks with $2,500 out of pocket. Uh,
Ah.
Now, as they say, you could be sold out for Jesus. I'm sold out for him too. Let me just say that. But
Yes.
now I'm pivoting into this business acquisition space because I really think it's important to one, share the messaging so that other people understand that it's not that far out of reach. Ownership is closer than they think, and it's available to all of us.
Okay. I love that. So tell us a little bit about that. Why is this another option for someone who has an entrepreneur spirit and mindset and who's thinking about maybe pivoting out of the corporate world? Maybe they had a life change like
Mhm.
you did, and they're thinking, what should I do next? Or
Yeah.
maybe they're currently an entrepreneur and they're thinking, I wish there was a better way to do this, right?
Yeah, it's
This,
a
this,
great option for both sides of that, right? So if you're in corporate and maybe you've had a life pivot, right?
Mhm.
Or maybe you're like, loving what I'm doing, but I want to plant the seeds for making the pivot on my terms at some point in some juncture. Well,
Mhm.
you can do that by acquiring a business that's already generating revenue, that already has team in place, that already has systems in place, that doesn't need you in the day to day. They
Uh-huh.
know how to make the business is running, it's functioning. The people are in place to help it do that. So why wouldn't you want to acquire that? You can still do your 9 to 5 if that's what you decide to do. And
Uh-huh.
you have this asset over here generating income
Mhm.
for you as it is today. You can now add some vision into that, do some things to expand the business because you now you have you're bringing into this already operating entity your skills, your expertise, and you got, it's kind of like opening up a can of something. You don't just take it straight out the can. You add a little something to it.
Right,
You gotta
right,
zhuzh it up, right? You
right.
zhuzh it up a little bit.
Yes.
You gotta make
So
it
is
taste
it
good.
so is it a partnership acquisition process that you're speaking of, or is it an individual?
It can be an individual, it can be a partnership. It really depends on you but getting in the right rooms with the right people to understand what options are available. I went into the acquisition I went into with other individuals, one because of the size of the entity that we were acquiring,
Mm,
right? So that does matter.
right,
It's
right.
the size of the entity we were acquiring, but the group of people that I was able to partner with, we all have different skill sets. And so just the combination of the magic that we're able to bring to this already phenomenal business. And
Hmm.
we can look at that through different lenses. And so I can add my expertise of financial services and product and service creation from a customer experience perspective and look at what they already have that's generating great phenomenal income, but I can add on top of that and go, if we just make these few tweaks to that, we can optimize that. We can expand the audience that this product or service is being offered to, and that then increases the income that the business is able to generate. So
Gotcha.
it's a different way of thinking about it.
Right.
Sometimes people think that they have to be in the day to day. They have to have hands on keyboard and be in the mix of things all the time. And that's an employee mindset versus a
Hmm.
CEO mindset. And so
Right.
a lot of people are founders and CEOs. That's what their title is. But if
Hmm.
they really think about it, they're still trading time for money. They're not
Hmm.
operating like a CEO really does
Uh-huh.
because their business can't function without them.
Right, right. And that's a key to building a sustainable business is being
Mhm.
able to, if you're not able to separate for a couple of months and take a vacation and everything runs smoothly, then you don't have a business. You still have a job. You just
Come on
own
now.
that job, right?
Come on now. Yeah, you say that. Say that for the
You
people in
just
the
own that job. So,
you
that's that, and that's not freedom. And
no.
most of us get into entrepreneurship for freedom, right?
Yes.
We want the freedom. We want to be our own boss. We want financial freedom. We
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to expand our earning potential, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
beyond the hours we put in. We
Mm-hmm.
want our money to expand for us. So, yeah, I like what you bring it to the table. So, when
Yeah.
you talk about acquisition, business acquisition, what comes to mind for me, and I think probably what my audience is thinking is, how does that compare to or relate to purchasing a franchise?
Purchasing a franchise is a form of acquisition, but so you can buy into a franchise, and some people do. I know several people within the community that I'm a part of. They have that's their jam. They love
Mhm.
franchises,
Uh-huh.
and that's what they like to acquire to build out their portfolio. I'm not saying I'm opposed to franchise. If I find the right one, I'm probably going to be a part of that club too.
Right.
That it's really important to not just, you have to be strategic also
Yes, I like that.
as you're building your portfolio, your holdco. If
Yes.
you're building something with an intention. And so what are the types of businesses do you want within your holding company? So,
Mm,
for example, if every business got needs bookkeeping,
yeah.
right? You have a finance department. You have
Yes.
somebody that needs to do your books. Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's the type of business you want to acquire. And then
Mhm.
as you're acquiring other businesses, one of the things that you can do to help grow that financial, that bookkeeping service or accounting
Right.
service
Right.
is move those accounting services from where that entity that you're acquiring is doing that and move that book of business to the financial company that you now own. That
Uh-huh.
now you've added another stream of income to a business that you already own within your holdco.
Yeah.
And now you have kind of centralized that operation for the business, for the multiple businesses that you own.
Got you. Got you. I love that. So, what you're saying is you have a holding company and you see a service that all businesses need bookkeeping, right? Which is a
Hmm.
concept I thoroughly understand because I'm in that arena too. And
Yeah.
you decide to bring it into your holding company and offer that services to all the other businesses you may have acquired
Yeah.
or owned. And therefore, you are servicing your businesses through this bookkeeping arm. So
Hmm.
you're diversifying your means of making income, right? It's not
Hmm.
just one lane that you're
Correct.
working in, but you have decided to diversify it, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and when you talk about bookkeeping, that's one of the professions that are needed no matter what the market is doing, right? Every
Hmm.
business need that. So yeah,
Hmm.
I love your expanded thinking, and I think we need to do a lot more of that. I think what we find readily available and discussed around us is being the solopreneur, right? Like you
Hmm.
said, you step into the arena and you're the person getting everything done.
Hmm.
And it is hard.
I don't like to work that hard.
Yes, yeah, and I'm with you. I don't think we should have to work that hard. So any avenue or any opportunity that would allow us to be successful in business,
Hmm.
build the revenue we want, right?
Hmm.
And live the lifestyle we want.
Hmm.
The quality of life,
The
right? Beyond
quality.
lifestyle, the quality of
Yes.
life we want. To
Yes.
have the time off we want to be off, right? To
Hmm.
do what we really want to do in life. That's
Yeah.
what the entrepreneur journey should be about.
there's
I
a
think,
difference between being rich and being wealthy.
yes.
Okay, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy.
So tell us what the difference is.
Right. So for me, right, my own I'm built to be wealthy. I'm not built
Yes,
I'm built to be wealthy. I feel
yes,
like that's my own feeling, right? I feel
right.
like God created Dana L. Cox
Yes.
to be a person of wealth.
Then
In
put the
order
L
to
in it.
put the L in there, right? Because
Yes,
The L matters. The L
right.
matters. But he created me to be a person of wealth because there is a purpose for which I'm intended. I'm uniquely built here to serve, right? And so it's not just about my family. For me, I love my kids, my grandkids, and I want to leave wealth to them. But I want to serve others, other communities, other countries, and the needs of others, which is important. And so I feel like for me, it's a matter of giving from that abundance, from that overflow. And so I'm uniquely built to be wealthy in order so I can.
Okay. Okay. And what would how would you define rich or how you think rich is defined?
You
That's
know,
different from that.
I think riches, you got some money now, you got some things, but when you're rich, you're really more thinking about within your own sphere of influence,
Okay.
your own space. It's
Okay.
not necessarily you're thinking beyond yourself or beyond your family.
Got
And
you.
I think that the wealthy think beyond themselves. They really do think beyond their family.
Right.
They play a different game. Like,
Hmm.
a lot of people get upset that they say the wealthy don't pay taxes. Well, I've heard a wealthy person say, "Well, income tax is a poor man's game."
Mm.
I was like, "Well, obviously, I've been living a poor man's life.
Right. Right.
I need to live differently. I need
Yes.
to live
Yes.
wealthy. So I
Yes.
need to have a wealthy mindset." So
Right.
it's
Right.
important for us to think that wealth is available to us because it is.
Yes.
We are uniquely built to have wealth if we so desire it. But that also means that we have to do things differently. We have to be willing to change our mindset and shift our mindset in order to
Mm.
believe that it's available to us. And oftentimes we have limiting beliefs as a people about what about money, if you will,
Yes.
because of their things that were intrinsically said to us, a part of our upbringing. I'll give you a case in point. I was having this conversation this week actually with someone, and I was like, my grandparents was like, listen, they worked really, really hard. My grandfather worked for Chrysler, my grandmother worked at Jaeger Bakery, and my other grandmother worked at the hospital. And they were on their jobs for like 20, 30 years. Like you get that job, that good job,
Right.
and
Right.
you stay there till you retire,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
air quotes, that good job.
Yes.
And Lord, look, and don't get that good government job. That's a whole
Oh.
level of
Oh
good, right? That's
yeah.
a
That's
whole level, a
those
whole different level.
benefits. Those
Them benefits,
benefits at
girl,
that
that's a whole
government
different
job.
level, right?
Oh,
Look,
you better live and die there, right?
yes. But in their mind, like what they ingrained in us was you go to school, you get a good job that pays you consistently because to them, that was financial security.
Yes.
That was financial security. And so
Yeah.
many of us think like you got to get a good education, you got to get a good job, and you just stay there till you die,
Yes. Yes.
right? Or they push
Yes.
you out,
Right.
whatever the case may be.
Right.
I noticed from myself that they were well intentioned in what they said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that created a limiting belief in me
Mm-hmm.
that when I lost my job, that there was no way for me to be financially secure
Yes.
because I didn't have a good paying job, regular job
Right.
with a consistent paycheck. Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
a lie from the pit of hell.
Yes.
Look, and I still love my grandparents, but it's a lie from the pit of hell because I
Yes.
can be financially secure and financially solvent, even though I don't have a quote unquote good job
Yes.
what comes with a consistent paycheck.
Mm.
So when you strip back the things that you think about money and you are understanding from which those things have come, whether it's from something that you've observed or something that was said in your upbringing, you then
Yes.
to understand how those things have shaped your relationship with money, how you
Yes.
think about money, your mindset about money, and
Right.
what things need to be shifted in you to create a different narrative for you
Mm.
about money.
Yes, that is so key. You are so speaking my language right now. Money mindset is key. And sometimes we seem to think that entrepreneurs, because they're in business to make money, that they don't suffer from limiting beliefs
Mm,
and they don't have a money mindset that needs to be shifted.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, when we talk about owning a job, while you think you're owning a business, you're really just owning a job.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from your money mindset because, like you said, a lot of us have it ingrained in us that hard work, working hard, working consistently, working all the time till you're like, can't work anymore. That's the price of wealth and riches, right? And that's the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
what we're talking, go ahead.
and that's the other thing, right? Is also, well, if I want to have a business, the only way for me to have a business is to start it from scratch. If I want to, do XYZ, I need to start it in my kitchen. Well, the
Mm,
reality is that's not the only way to get into business.
yes,
There are, well, I think almost 12 million baby boomers. Many of them are business owners. They're retiring. They want to retire. They might have built that thing with Junior in mind, but Junior don't want it.
yes.
Junior like,
You want to do something totally different than
he
what they
wants to be an
did.
influencer on.
Yeah, yes, he hasn't worked a day in that business and he's not interested in taking it over.
No, not
So now
interested
they need to
whatsoever.
find a buyer for it.
They need to find a buyer for it.
You're right.
And many of them are willing to do seller financing, to stay on and help do a transition plan to make sure that you are successful in taking over the business. Many of them just want to see it survive. But we
Yeah,
want to go create the new thing that's just like the thing that they've already had, that already
right.
has customers, that are already paying them,
Yeah,
consistently generating revenue. Why? Buy
right.
the thing, add your own special sauce on top, grow the thing.
Mm, wonderful, wonderful. I love that. I love that. So this is a another option to entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Another option to building wealth and legacy.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to look like the way we've been seeing it all the time, right? We see it as being a solopreneur, starting it with your own hands.
Hmm.
It can look like you acquiring another business that's doing what you
Hmm.
want to do,
Hmm.
and you can speed up your process. I
Yes.
love this idea because the statistics show that Black women-owned businesses are the fastest growing new businesses that are getting started in the US, but
Hmm.
our failure rate, not
Hmm.
making it to 5 years, is 97%.
There are so
And to
many.
your point, we're starting out doing it all, right?
Yes.
Learning all the systems from the ground floor. If we had opportunities, okay, I have the desire to be an entrepreneur doing this certain thing.
Hmm.
If I understand there's an opportunity to acquire a company that already does this, they figured out all the kinks, they've worked through it, they've been in business for over 10 years plus, that
Hmm.
I can just come in and take over. And
Hmm.
like you said, add my sauce to the mix and be successful.
Hmm.
Now that's a real eye opener,
Yeah.
right? That
And
that
even
that
as
just expands what's
what's
possible.
possible. Exactly. And then even as a business owner who is looking to expand your business, expand your audience, expand your services that in products that you're providing, why do you need to do that from scratch? Why do you need to do that
Mm.
organically? It's
Ah,
probably someone that has a business
right.
that offers those products and those services that would be a great synergy to what
Yes,
you're looking to do. That you can now bridge that gap, and now you have those customers. You're introducing your products and services to another set of customers. You're introducing your customers to this new set of products and services, and you have this now you have expansion opportunities from a wealth management perspective, from an income growth potential perspective,
right.
a
So
ready-made audience.
yes, wonderful. So when you started your entrepreneur journey, what was the first business you stepped into before you pivoted to the acquisition process?
Yeah, so I started off doing coaching, more career advancement coaching, right?
Okay.
I that was the thing I did. Like I did a lot in corporate, but
Yeah.
when I think about what did I love the most,
Mm,
I love developing other people and
got it.
helping them to advance their careers. So I'm like, no brainer. I
Right.
could do this, right?
Right. Yeah.
Um, And I did. And I had some great success with some phenomenal women who really unlocked their confidence and their ability to negotiate and for better for advocate for themselves and things of that nature and learn how to say no and stop
Yes.
taking on everything
Yes.
and take
Yes.
on the right
That's a
thing.
big one. Yes, that's a big one.
So these are
No is
some
a
of the
complete
things.
sentence.
Listen, no period. As a
Exactly.
so those were some of the things that I was able to do coming into this. And I still am passionate about that work because I do feel that still the arm of my business.
Got it.
Position to paid is the umbrella, right? And we do that through two different ways. There's the career advancement arm of the business. So we're still helping people get in position to get paid. If
Right.
that's so they desire, if that's their desire, to
Right.
grow their career within the corporate space, they have no interest in ownership, that's okay too.
Right. Right.
However, so we're here to serve them, but also really just want to make sure that everyone understands that they can get in position and be paid through a vehicle of ownership, even
Mm,
while they're still in corporate or
mm,
as an entrepreneur in a whole different way. And so I
mm.
feel like, once you know better, you do better, but then
Right.
you're also obligated to share.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And it just opens up the options. Like you said, it's not counseling one for the other. It's just opening it up and giving you the pros and cons, right? The
Mhm.
benefits, depending on where you want to go, where you're headed,
Yes.
what your goals are, what your plans are. You're able to see, okay, there are different ways that I can accomplish these
Mhm.
goals. But some
Absolutely.
ways may be better than others.
Yes.
But now you can be exposed to all the options. I
Mhm.
love that. I love that.
Yeah. I
Wonderful.
have a dear friend. She did her very first acquisition with absolutely no money down. No
Ah,
money in pocket.
oh, that's wonderful.
Listen, there's so many different ways. I'm still counting the ways
Ah,
of creative. They call it creative financing, but I'm still
yes.
counting the ways. Definitely over 100 in my count thus far.
Uh-huh.
But it really depends on the business that you're acquiring and the situation. But there are so many different ways that you can do creative financing where it's little to no money down out of your pocket, and people don't even know about.
Right.
And so it's
That's what
like,
I was going to say. That nugget right there is enough for someone to say, okay, I need to know more information about this. Because
yes.
most times the concept we have in our head is that it's going to take a lot of money to
Hmm.
start a business or acquire a business, right?
Hmm.
Even more, I think we think it's going to cost even more to acquire a business. And we have never, I mean, acquiring a business with no money down is like unheard of for us. So
Hmm.
it's like, okay, that's news. We need to know more about this.
Yeah. Well, and
Wonderful,
people don't
wonderful.
understand that a lot of sellers are willing to do what is called seller financing, right? Where they really allow you to step into the business using the cash within the business as like security, right? If you
Uh-huh.
will. Because that also means that they're committed and you're committed to the growth of the business, right? So
Mm,
they're behind you and backing you to be successful. And there are a lot of sellers that are willing to even do that.
mm. So what you're doing with your business in this arena, are you connecting people to companies they can acquire?
So
Okay.
a little doing a little bit of a few things on that. So one, I'm educating, right? Just making people aware that
Mm,
this is available vehicle for them. Ownership is closer than you think. So this is
yes.
something that, I want to really expand people's consciousness about. So
Yes.
education is key, right? And then also really helping, right? So I'm a part of a community which helps people to identify deals, negotiate deals, do the evaluation of businesses that are up for sale and things of that nature to determine whether or not it's a good deal or not.
Uh-huh.
And it's a community of other like-minded people who are looking to do acquisitions that they may find something. They're like, hey, I'm looking for a partner on this. I'm willing to give you X amount of equity in the business for Y amount of investment, or even just from a consultation perspective.
Mm,
I need someone with with a financial background that can help me read these reports. If you're
right.
willing to, be my finance partner on this to make sure that the finances are good, I'm willing to give you X amount of equity in the business. Uh,
Mm,
that's not having to be in the office day to day.
right. That's
But every quarter you can get a check from having
yeah.
done said work on the front end of a deal. So it's
Mm,
different ways to understand that you can create and generate wealth and income for yourself through this acquisition model.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. So someone who's interested in acquiring of the business, or they've listened to what we've discussed here and they're saying, "Oh, I want to know more about that." What would be their next step?
So I'm hosting a webinar on the 26th of July. I think it's 10 o'clock Central, called Skip the Startup, Buy a Business Already Making Money.
Okay.
But we can't get no more plain than that, right? So
Yes.
I'm doing that on the 26th of July. It's completely free. They can go to positionedown.com and they can register there. And I'll go through the information, really kind of helping people understand the concept of working in your
Yes.
business, working on your business, working above your business, but
Hmm.
also talking about some of the different financing options, that creative financing that I mentioned, and sharing some real case studies of people within the community that I'm a part of that deals that actually happened, so that they can understand these are everyday people just like you, just like me,
Mm.
that have done these things, many of which with no money down or very little money down. And so it's just a really cool concept. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like,
Right,
like
right.
literally, for me, I was like, how did I not know about this?
Yes, the
I'm like,
exposure.
I'm going
The,
to college.
yes,
Like I've been at all these things.
yeah.
How is it that I never came upon this?
Mm.
So I'm like, I'm feeling like I just need to shout it from the rooftops.
Right,
And
right.
so
I
that just
I understand completely what you mean because once you find out something, you're like, "Oh, this is good."
it's too
Ooh,
good to keep to myself.
yes,
It's too good to
boy,
keep to
y'all need
myself.
to know about this. Have you heard about this? So I'm
And
glad you're
yeah.
pulling back the veil here and letting people
But
see.
I've been in some interesting conversations that have just like blown my mind with, being, like I said, being in this community, being exposed to these individuals, being able to talk with them, partner with them in many different cases. Because I had a client, actually a career advancement client that I was working with the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I was looking at her resume, and she had a Instagram group on there. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "Do you still have this group?" And the reason I asked her is because a woman in the community, she is in the fitness industry. And one of the things that she specializes in is doing fitness for women of color. And
Okay.
she organizes these outside events in nature. Like it's a whole thing. And
Uh-huh.
so the group was a group for women of color, and it was doing fitness in the outdoors. And
Ah.
she goes, "No, I had it when I lived in California. I don't have it anymore."
Ah.
She said, "But I have the group, but I haven't really been doing anything with the group. I haven't
Right.
posted in the group. No one's posted in the group in about 2 years." I said, "Well,
Ah.
what you doing with the group?" She's like, "What do you mean? I'm probably going to just shut it down." I'm like, "No, do not shut that down." I said, "I know we're supposed to be talking about your career. We're going to get back to that. But do you understand that this is an asset that you can sell?" And she's like, "What do you mean? Somebody would buy this?" I said, yes, I know a person that would
Uh-huh.
actually buy this."
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "For real?" Like she had no understanding of the concept of what I was talking about. And so I shared this with her. And so I said, "Can I at least share with her the name of your group and let her look at it and see if she has an interest?" And she's
Uh-huh.
like, "Sure, why not?" So of course I shared it because we had a group meeting, and the young lady was like, "How much you want for it?" Like it was like, "How much you want for it?" Because adding that group to her existing portfolio
Yeah.
now expands her audience by 3x. So
Ah.
now she's 3x the audience that she's speaking to, which now
Mm.
expands the audience of people for her services, for her apparel, for her
Yes. Every offer she has.
every offer she has
Yes.
now has this expanded audience. So they were like, the young lady who I was working with, she had no idea that she was sitting. I
Right.
said, "Listen, you sitting on something and you didn't even know it was an asset that could make you money in the next 2 weeks. Like,
Yes.
what we doing? I know we gonna look, we gonna get your career together, but
Yes. We gonna do this too.
well, we gonna do this too. Yeah, yes, and so it's just interesting to be able to like help unlock her. And so I shared some other things with her, and she was like, now she called me yesterday, and she's like, "Okay, I've decided this is what I want for the group. This is what I'm asking." Like, so the whole thing. So just
Right.
working with the two of them on that, and I'm telling the story to somebody else, and they go, I have a group of moms, of homeschooling moms. I haven't done anything. You mean I can do something with that? I was like, yes, yes. So
Wow.
people just don't know what they have. So
Yeah.
I am hoping to help them, one, understand what they have, and
Yes.
two, help bridge the gap by connecting them with people, or if there are things that they're looking to buy, helping to connect them with business owners that are looking to sell. So that's the
Wonderful.
other thing that I'm doing.
I love that. I love that. So you said you're having your webinar on the
20,
26th?
yes,
26th. Great. So people can tap into that and get all their questions answered.
yes,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Wonderful. That is
I'm
brilliant.
looking forward to people coming out, learning a little bit more about it. So I'm sharing as much as I can. So I'm glad I got a chance to spend some time with you today.
Yes, I love that. We love sharing impactful things with the audience that, we don't hear about in everyday talk and we're not aware of. And it's like, oh, this is a discovery that I can really benefit from.
Hmm.
So great information, great information.
Yes, no,
So,
happy to share. Happy to share.
yeah. So as you started your entrepreneur journey, what would you say is something you've experienced that when we talk about mindset and money mindset, there is a difference between employee mindset and entrepreneur mindset. So, what would you say is something that you had to shift for yourself, transitioning from being an employee to being a business owner and entrepreneur?
So I will tell you this. I feel like my shift was quite different. My pendulum has swung in two directions, right? So
Okay.
I went from being like this executive with very visionary, right? Great at delegation and having a vision and putting the right
Ah,
people in place to execute the vision, right?
right.
I was built to be a CEO.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm telling you, I was built to be a CEO.
Right.
Moving into entrepreneurship put me like, I was like, oh, who gonna do all of this today? Wait a minute. My son goes, you are the person. You are the person that takes the calls. You
Yes.
schedule the appointment. You are
Yeah.
the person that schedules your travel. You're the
Yeah.
person that does the tech support. You're the
Right.
person that sets up the landing page. I said, I
Yeah.
don't want to be all them people. I don't want to be them people. So it was really like I ended up going from having a CEO mindset within the corporate environment,
Right.
then kind of swinging full throttle into this, oh my God, I have six jobs.
Yes.
I don't want that.
Right.
You know, what was supposed to be a joyful journey was quite exhausting and
Yes.
frustrating at times and
Mhm.
things of that nature because I have a big vision.
Right.
But I'm one person. So then
Yeah.
in order to bring the vision to fruition, I now have to be all the people and do all the jobs and
Mhm.
the hours of time that I'm spending doing all the things is such as you spoke about at the top of the show. I was in the mix of that. And I'm like, I'm team go to bed. Look, I'm the person that's like 9 o'clock, good night.
Uh-huh.
This don't just happen. She needs all of her rest.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's 2 o'clock. I'm still working. I have things to do. I'm like, I do not like this at all. And
Yes.
so learning about business acquisition has now given me the clarity back to and really getting in more back to the thing that's most comfortable for me, which is really having that CEO mindset, being able
Mhm.
to have a vision, understand the pieces and parts that make the vision, work and bring it
Right.
to fruition. And now how do I then identify the businesses that I need to acquire in order to bring that vision to pass?
Hmm. So would you say business acquisition is best match with someone with that mindset, someone who is not intent on being hands-on every day in the business and building it from the ground up, but understand how to delegate, how to manage things from a higher level?
I would say that what I've seen, especially with people that around that have done acquisitions, is it's difficult because when they've acquired things, they have that employee mindset. They're like, I
Right,
got to go to the office, and it's like, no, no, no,
right,
no, no, no. That's not your role here, right? So they're still thinking that way. I
right,
think a lot of times entrepreneurs get into business, they really have a vision, and they think the only way to get to the vision is to do it the traditional way.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that business acquisition is best for. I
Uh-huh.
would say that it is best for the person who has the vision. Now they may not know how to bring it to pass. They may think that they have to take the long route to bring it to pass, but it's
Okay.
getting connected with the right people that can help you see the shortcuts, the clear
Okay.
to get to that vision, right?
Right.
And so I think that's what has unlocked for me. Now that I know about business acquisition, I'm like, y'all done messed around. I done messed around because now I know
Right.
exactly where I'm headed. I know
Yes.
how to get there. I really want to help other people get there as well. I'll give you another example. I have a dear friend. She's in the fitness space. She started her business from the ground up, traditional way, and she then wanted to add massage services for her clients. Well, what did she do? She went to school. She became a licensed massage
Oh,
right?
okay.
So
Yes.
she did all the things to become the licensed
Yes.
massage therapist.
Yes.
Now, if she decides she wants to go away to Bali for a month, ain't nobody getting a massage.
Right. Right.
She in Bali, unless they in Bali
Right.
with her, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
we were having a conversation, and she's like, I need to go to school to become a chiropractor because I want to add chiropractic services. I said, but why do you have to be the person to go to school to become a chiropractor? Why don't we just buy a chiropractic firm that already has those services? They have the staff in place to do the work, and they're already licensed to do that. You don't have to get another degree unless you absolutely want to. But you,
Mm.
because now you have chiropractic, I think the chiropractic.
Chiropractic. Yes.
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 I'm like, what is the word? You have those practitioners on
Right.
staff already. They
Right.
are licensed, they've been trained, they're already servicing
So
clients.
now, Dana, we're talking about when you're thinking about scaling your business or
Yes, ma'am.
expanding your
Yes, ma'am.
services, to think about it differently. You can do
Yes,
it through
ma'am.
acquisition as opposed to, like you said, going back to get a degree or a certification in something so that you can offer this. Just find a business that's already certified,
Mhm,
has the people on staff, and you can partner with them.
mhm.
I
You can
like that.
either acquire them
Right,
or do some type of equity deal with them, which is a form of partnership where but now you've expanded your services that you're able to offer.
right. I like that. So we just got options upon options here, right?
Listen, ma'am,
It's just so many
It's like
different
Baskin
ways
Robbins,
we can put this
okay?
puzzle. Okay, we can put this puzzle together. So many different ways based
Yes.
on what our distinct desire is, what our vision is.
Mhm.
And then as the business grow, there's so many different options,
Yeah.
for what we can add to it more easily
Mhm. And
than doing it from the ground up.
if you build a great, I'm going to say this way, if you build a great holdco, really build something great and that's really robust and growing phenomenally, imagine somebody's going to come knocking at your door and they may want to buy the whole thing.
Hmm.
They may want to buy the whole thing.
I love that concept because a lot of times we think about, two things just came to me. One
Mhm.
was that as entrepreneurs, we're usually multi-talented, right? Multi-talented, multi-skilled. And
Mhm.
sometimes we get in trouble from that because we
Mhm.
try to start the solopreneur journey doing 10 different things and
Mhm.
nothing really gets off the ground, right?
Mhm.
This allows us to be able to tap into all those desires and interests, right?
Mhm.
Without having to do it 100% ourselves.
Yes.
We can acquire a company that does something else that we love,
Yeah.
as opposed to being the one to do it all
Mhm.
and not really having the energy to get it where it needs to be.
That part.
Another thing it brings to mind is the concept of being able to sell your business. I think every business should be built on the concept of, is this sellable?
Mhm.
Because that makes you put the systems and the processes in place so that
Mhm.
your business survives without you. So when
Yeah.
you get to the point where you're you're thinking about doing something, either something totally different,
Mhm.
or you just want to go travel around the world, right?
Mhm.
For a couple of months, a half a year or more. Now you have the option and you have everything in place that you can sell this
Yeah.
and take those funds and do something else. I mean, I've heard so much about people who've started businesses and, 3 years in, they sell it, then they
Mhm.
start something else, then they sell it. So being a multipreneur is really a concept I think we should
Mhm.
embrace. But
Yeah.
this is like the opportunity for that. Okay, you acquired a business, you thought you loved it, you changed your mind. Now you understand the process of someone else can acquire this, right? That love it more than you do, and you can
Mhm.
go do something else.
Mhm.
Ah, wonderful.
Yes.
Flexibility is great.
Well, and you don't necessarily have to sell it, right? But if you build it in the right way, it can operate without you, and you can just, you have the time freedom and the financial freedom to really live the life of your dreams. And
Yes,
what you are dreaming of may look different than what I'm dreaming of, but at the end of the day, can you make your own dreams come true?
yes, that
You
part.
have an opportunity to make your dreams come true.
Mm, I love that. I love that. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah,
So
listen.
as yes.
I'm excited. I really am. I'm working on my next book. Well, actually, I have a couple books that I'm working on in the process of working on a couple. One is really focused on the business acquisition aspect and really just helping people to understand the process and the concept and why it is really available to anyone.
Yes.
Anyone. Like
Yeah.
there's several people within my community that have bought businesses as teenagers.
Oh, wow.
18, 19 years old. I was like,
Wow.
here my dusty sons just figuring it out.
Right.
But you
Right.
are, the age of my children, and
Yes.
you own three companies.
Yeah.
But access,
There you
exposure,
go.
right,
There
is
you
really
go.
important. And so
It
oftentimes
is.
we're not in the rooms where this is
Right.
spoken about,
We're
and we
not.
don't have access or exposure to it. So that's one of my missions is to really make it available, the information available and accessible to people. I'm launching a YouTube channel here soon, which I'll be doing it on there as well. So
Good.
just really trying to share what I learn on my journey,
Yes.
and paying it forward so other people can learn and or be on the journey with me.
Right. Great stuff. I love it. So we appreciate you so much for being on today and sharing this fabulous stuff. And as we wrap up, there are four fun questions I love to ask my guests.
Okay, bring them
Just
on.
quick questions so that our audience can get to know you, Dana, the person. The first question is, if you can have a conversation with anyone from history, who would
Hmm.
you choose and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. Uh, anyone from history, huh?
Anyone.
I would have to say, if I had the opportunity to speak with anyone, it would probably be Nelson Mandela.
Ah.
And I would love to understand from him his resilience and what was the real root of his resilience, right?
Mm.
I feel like he withstood so much. And in spite of all the hardship and all of that, what was the thing that kept him going? What was that thing? Um,
Yeah.
and so I would love to understand that because I think we all have that thing, right?
Yes.
Did he discover his thing? Um,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I because I feel like, I feel like the Phoenix is my spirit animal because I've been through many a thing, and I yet I rise. But I
Yeah.
would love to understand what was his thing and how he discovered it.
Mm. Wonderful. Wonderful. I love that. Next question. What is either your favorite place to travel to or your dream place to travel to?
Ooh, so, I'm a travel girly. I've been many a places. I've been many a places, but right now, still to this day, my favorite trip is Croatia.
Oh.
That is my favorite trip to date. Is
Oh,
It was a
interesting.
fantastic experience.
Uh-huh.
And we did Croatia. We went into Split and we traveled to several, because Croatia is kind of built like the Greek islands. I don't know if a
Uh-huh.
lot of people know that. So it's many different smaller islands, and
Uh-huh.
each one has their own little personality, very
Oh.
similar to the Greek islands. The water is colder, but the food is phenomenal. If
Ah.
people are Game of Thrones fans, a lot of Game of Thrones was shot in Croatia.
Okay.
But we traveled Croatia via yacht. And to be on a yacht of people of color, it was like
Uh-huh.
26 of us, 20, I think it was 26, 24.
Uh-huh.
professionals of color.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and to just have that experience with them was phenomenal. But the country was phenomenal. And it's one that I
Ah.
would never, ever forget. That's my number one place. It's my favorite trip. I can't wait to go back. Uh,
Ah.
my second favorite is Tanzania. I did a safari with my best friend who doesn't like animals. And so she's still my best friend because not liking animals, she went on safari with me and slept in.
Ah.
So I love her immensely.
I love that. I love that. Wonderful, wonderful. What, Dana, do you want to be remembered for?
Ooh, what do I want to be remembered for? Um, I want to be remembered as someone who, while I am resilient and I can be a badass at times, but I have a big heart. I do have a big heart. Don't tell nobody, Lynette. I have,
I
uh,
won't tell them.
and I really want to see our people win. I
Mm,
really, really do. And so anything that I can do to pay that forward, that is really, really important to me.
yeah.
My kids are, I tell them all the time, they are the best thing that I've
Mm,
ever done in my life. Hands
um,
I've done many great things, but none greater than them.
mm,
But that is I feel it's my mission, my responsibility to pay everything forward,
yeah.
to help others. And so that is really what I'm on purpose to do.
I love that. I love that. I can definitely relate to that. And lastly, but not least, what is a favorite Black-owned brand of yours that you can share with us? Because being all about Black women entrepreneurs, we love to share with our audience more Black-owned companies that we can all support. So, what
So
you want to give
this
it?
one is one of my favorites, and she's a friend. It
Okay.
is MLCA Luxora. She does
Okay.
candles, she has sprays, she also has the what are they called? The sticks. But
Yeah.
Tracy White, fantastic hand poured. Um, yeah, definitely luxury candles and
Okay.
scents. So definitely love her products. And
And what scent is that you have there?
it's called Flourishing.
Oh, I
Yes,
love that.
called Flourishing. So yeah, and she is very intentional about the scents and the names and just her practice and process that she does when
Okay.
she's creating. So there's an affirmation on the front of all of them.
Yes, I love that. I saw the writing. I was like, oh, that must be a message.
Yeah, this one says thriving in pursuit of growing into a place of ultimate joy and happiness in life.
Ah, I like that. And to give us the company name again.
It is MLCA Luxora.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. We'll definitely be looking out for that. And guys, I'm gonna drop that in the show notes so that you can visit that website and see what that Black-owned business, Black woman-owned business, in fact,
Yeah.
is all about. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Dana. It's been wonderful with you. I look forward to my audience participating in your webinar on the 26th. I'm also going to drop that in the show notes. And when your book is released around the same topic, business
Yes.
acquisition, we look forward to enjoying that too. Thank you so much for what you do, how you care about us, the great information you bring and share with us. And we wish you the very best of joy, health, and wealth.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Today's podcast is being sponsored by Your 90 Day Success Journal for Black Women Entrepreneurs by Lynette Cottrell. The journal is available on Amazon. It's inclusive of monthly goals, weekly and daily goals, affirmations, self-care practices, and inspiring quotes from other Black women. Be sure to get your copy today. Your 90-Day Success Journal. Hey there, beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in to Women of Color in Business. I hope today's conversation gave you fresh inspiration, insight, and practical tools to move your business forward. If you found value here, please subscribe, leave a review and rate us 5 stars. And please, please, please share this episode with a fellow Black woman entrepreneur you know. Hey, let's stay connected. Connect with me on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and join our mailing list via the links in the show notes. Next week, we'll be diving into more great topics and new guests, so stay tuned. Until next time, I wish you the very best of joy, health, and wealth. Remember, your voice matters and your business deserves to thrive. See you next time.